Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Passport Nomad. And before I go into today's content, once again, I'm going to remind you, could you please hit the subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up on all my newest content. Today, let's get into it. I've been seeing a string of videos on social media popping up in regards to Americans sleeping and living out of storage containers. This is serious. This is real. And the thing is, this is nothing new, really. This has been going on for a while, but now it's really, really picked up. How bad has the cost of living gone up in the United States? Let's take a look at a couple of TikTok videos to see what's going on here, all right?
I'm currently living in a storage unit. My landlords decided not to renew my lease this year.
I think y'all are just jealous. I live out here, don't gotta spend money. I live in a tent and I'm making it work.
And go to sleep. So this is our living space.
I just got some terrible news, man. I just got kicked out the storage unit, man. This is crazy. I don't know where I'm gonna go now.
Anyway, before I go any further and show more, I just want to say you might be thinking, Passport, what does this have to do with travel? Well, if you stick around to the end of the video, I will explain exactly why this all corresponds with this channel and what I'm talking about, especially what's going on in America right now, why many people are choosing to leave. This would be the other option if you didn't. So let's see how a person would live on such a low budget and they can't afford anything, and the price of living gets so high you can't afford anything anymore. Let's see how you're going to be living.
Now I'm living in a storage unit, trying to get an apartment, but can't right now. I'm at the storage unit, finna get me a storage today. I'm feeling mighty proud of myself today, you know. Yeah, you can see the building right here. I ain't gonna really show everything, but yeah. I'm looking for the smallest storage unit. How much is the smallest one? Just got the storage unit. Then I can put my. Thought I would have a bigger one, but I think I can put my bed right here or whatever. Man. Got all my stuff in here. Gotta get some. I let this up. I'm gonna get hot.
I'm homeless by choice because I got tired of spending all my money on rent and I need to save some money. If you're new here, I keep most of my stuff at this storage unit, but I also have an office where I have access to Wi-Fi, a refrigerator, and pretty much everything else I need 24/7. I have 2 jobs and I also sleep at work, so that definitely helps. Keep in mind, the office and work are 2 different places. Now, I am really active in my comments, and I noticed that a lot of moms were saying if they didn't have kids, they would be doing the same thing. And I definitely understand. For years, I just felt like it had to be a better way. I did not want to work, go home, take care of the kids, barely sleep, and still have to pay all these bills. My kids are older, so it worked out to where I was finally able to put myself in a situation. So although I sleep at work, I rented this office because I just don't want to be in one spot all day. We have offices starting at $300, so it's nowhere near as much as I would be paying for rent. Whenever I do come here, I have 24-hour access. I can use the bathroom. We have a microwave, refrigerator, Wi-Fi, and everything else I need.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Okay, because we can't have it closed like that. It has to be open, wide open at all times.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Everything okay?
Everything good?
Okay, yeah. If you don't mind opening it, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You too.
Man, I had to bring him here. I ain't want to do it, but I mean, he chilling, man. This is we at for the night. We in the unit. You know what I'm saying? Shelter, he be tripping, man. His behavior, he on a bunch of weird people there. He don't really like it. But here, he got his own world. He got the TV, he got the bed. He chilling. So he got the moat. You know what I'm saying? We gonna thug it out. We gonna slide out in the morning, do what we do. Ain't that right, boy? We gonna do what we do, ain't it?
So, could you imagine that? I want you guys to do me a favor. You know what? Do me a favor. If you could see yourself living out of a place like that, a storage facility, leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. How many of you would be willing, if things got so bad, you had no other choice, could you live in a storage facility or, say, a container unit? For one thing, I personally have had this experience because back in the military when I served in Iraq, that's what we used to live out of. Many of you may have heard of the term storage or container homes. That whole term, that whole idea came from Iraq, from the military, us former veterans, that we were living in these, we called them hooches. And it was like a whole city of these things. And what they were was prefabricated or used storage units, or what do you call storage containers. They were refurbished and remodeled and designed into container units for living quarters. And it became a big deal. It was a success for the military in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And after that, other companies and people that did the designs, they moved it on into society. Now they have storage container homes or whatever available, but they put a nice price on them. Well, anyway, that's how the veterans, how we used to live in Iraq while we were fighting the war.
I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want to, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare something cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches, a lot of times we make salad. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul.
You have to have a code, and in order to get on any floor other than the first floor in the elevator, you also have to have a code. So I don't have to worry about anyone running up on me while I'm sleeping. Now, this is my routine at night before I go do Uber. Because the business hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything locks down, including the elevator, I have to set myself up to where I can get back into the unit once I'm done working. So that's what you see me doing here. I go up to my unit, I put my things away, I come back down, I set up the door to where it does not lock, and also to where no one can notice that it's open. There are other people here. I don't want to jeopardize them. I'll prop the gate open so that I can walk through, and I park my car outside. So although I'm homeless by choice,
So if you're going to live in a storage unit, you're going to need to be as invisible as you possibly can be. You basically need to be a ghost. If anybody finds out you're here, that's when you start running into trouble. So first of all, I needed power for my unit. So what I did is I ran an extension cord along the power cable up here, and I sort of zip tied it up. So you can't really tell its power is going to my unit unless you are looking closely. So this is my unit here, and at the top of the unit you can see I have an antenna, and that's so I can get a cell signal inside the unit itself, because once you close the door it drops all signal. I have a lock which I've magnetized onto the door so it looks like it's locked even when it's not. And then when I actually do want to lock it, I can just use this lock or use another one down here and leave that one there. All right, so let's take a look at the unit now. So in here I've got my TV, entertainment center set up there. I've got my bed. I've got my kitchen area over there, complete with a fridge, and my couch over here. Once you're inside here, you can close the door. And I've screwed on a latch here, so that way you can close it and sort of lock it from the inside. I've also put a mirror up so you can see what you're doing. Up here I've got a toaster oven, and this toaster oven actually works pretty well. I'd say it works just as well as a conventional oven. I've got some dishes over here. Got some more pots and pans over here, and my fridge is right here. Underneath I've got a filing cabinet, some tools, and some storage for some other stuff I have. Up on this part of the kitchen I have cutting board so I can make some lunch or dinner there. I have a hot plate for boiling water, cereal. Up here is the Tupperware, and then over here I've got a food cupboard for all my food. And this is the sink I've built, and the sink is basically like a 25-liter container filled with water, and I've attached these tubes here, so you just open it up, and then the water comes down this tube and out there. So you've got running water, you can do dishes, get a drink, whatever, and then the water filters into this bucket, which goes down into these holes here, which goes into a funnel, which leads into a separate container here. And I usually find I have to empty that container and refill that one, usually once a week.
Broke. I'm 18 years old and I live in this small little vehicle. Today we were finally able to get the front seat out. One of my coworkers at Jack in the Box ended up taking it out for me, and I'm so thankful because I could not do it on my own. And of course I wanted to record for you guys the whole process of taking a whole seat out, but I was embarrassed to ask him if I could record him, and I also don't want anybody from work knowing that I do TikTok. Anyways, after taking the seat out of the vehicle, I cannot believe how spacious it looks. I know a Fiat is a very small vehicle, but it literally feels like a small RV, and taking out the seat just made my life way easier. I don't have to be hopping or jumping to the front seat to get things. I love it. I think I'm gonna get like small little cabinets from Walmart so I can organize my clothes. Somebody asked me where I park, and I do park outside a coworker's house. I give her $50. She allows me to use her electricity, but my car isn't running and I need something.
So, what does this have to do with travel? That one guy that's staying in that storage facility with his whole family, with his girlfriend and the baby, that storage facility space, no running water, just you got to hook up your own electricity. He's paying for the same price he's paying for that. I'm paying for a whole one full bedroom apartment with a kitchen, bathroom, running water, shower, everything. I'm paying just about as much as he's paying just to live in a storage space. And I'm living in a one bedroom, fully furnished condo for the same price. Anyway, I'm saving more money here. And this is what a lot of us that had have left the country, because we saw the writing on the wall a long time ago after the first recession. We saw things was going to get bad, and it's getting worse every time we look back there and look at y'all, because you're posting these videos up. Like that one video, you could see that one girl, she was embarrassed to even show her own face, that showed that she's living out of her car. She didn't want to say once. She said, "Oh, I didn't want my job to know that I'm TikToking." No, you didn't want your job to find out that you're living out of your car. It's an embarrassing thing, right? But that's in a society we live in where we're so materialistic, we're so judgmental, we're so entitled to believe that we all deserve the best of things and everything, until reality hits in and it sets that, wow, the price of living is getting too expensive to live here. I'm paying for everything, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I can barely save my own money. It's getting worse. People are complaining about the price of eggs. Now they're complaining about the rent. What happens if the economy crashes again, which it could? It could. Not saying that it will, but it could. Gas, everything going up. You're paying every kind of thing to support your life, all the bills, the electricity, everything. Insurance, car insurance. You know, here I don't have to drive. Food is cheap. Living expenses is cheap. Water bills cheap. The bills are cheap. Everything's cheap. Wi-Fi is generally free. Hell, Wi-Fi is cheap as too. It's cheap as well. But anyway, besides all that, a lot of us that are living overseas, we saw that writing on the wall a long time ago. And now we moved overseas and living better lives. Some got jobs, remote jobs, working from laptop computers. It's 2025. Why are you still working in Burger King or McDonald's or whatever? That's something for teenagers in high school living home with their parents. That's supposed to help you establish your working experience. We're working into the world to help you gain experience. Once you're out of college, you're out the house of mom and dad's, you have to be on a real job or something like that. It's 2025. Look at all the new jobs that are coming out online, things that you can do remotely from anywhere in the world. Why not save up, get that plane ticket, bring your laptop computer, work abroad, live cheaper, save more money, because the price of living in other countries is well cheaper than America, and the American dream just isn't what it used to be anymore. The new American dream now is making American dollars while living abroad. And that is why this has to do with travel. There's so many videos like that. It's like really depressing and really hard to watch for people living out of their cars, living in storage facilities. They're basically homeless. But for the same price that they're paying over there doing all that, they could be living abroad, working abroad, living better lives. That's the only point I was trying to make about making this video. That's all I got for today. If you have any comments or any thoughts, just leave it leave your comments in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this subject. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. This is Passport Nomad signing out.